start with Matthew Cudjoe, and obviously your appeal yesterday was dismissed by the SFA. How disappointing was that for you?
Yeah, I mean, look, we wouldn't have lodged an appeal if we didn't think we had a good case to put forward. The club done well pulling all the footage together, and we had hoped that Matthew's past disciplinary record. I think watching the footage back, you can see that there's no throwing of the arm or no real clear elbow to the face of the Morton player, and we were hoping that the red card could have been reduced to a yellow card based on the footage that we've seen. But unfortunately, we weren't successful in that appeal, and we respect the decision of the panel. And unfortunately, we're going to have to go without Matthew now for the next couple of games.
How big a miss is he going to be? Because obviously he has shown himself up well in the start to the season.
Yeah, he started the season really, really well. I mean, the opening 3 or 4 fixtures, he was excellent, scoring goals and contributing with assists as well. I think like any young player, there's always going to be little dips in form, and I don't think he's been quite at the level in the last couple of games as what he was at the beginning of the season. But that's natural for kids. We plan on being very patient with him. We know what he's capable of. We know the ability that he has got, and hopefully the couple of games out will be a decent time to rest and recover and to reflect from Matthew's point of view. He'll still continue to work hard in training, and when he comes back in a couple of weeks' time, then I'm pretty sure he'll be excited to get back in the team.
And of course you face Inverness this weekend, who currently are without a manager. Does that make it more difficult for you perhaps to prepare for this match?
Yeah, I mean, look, firstly, I'm really disappointed for Billy Dodds. He's a guy I know well and have crossed paths many times over the years. Done really well taking Inverness to Hampden last season, but has had a very difficult start to this campaign, and that's the industry that we're in. If you don't get the results, then ultimately the manager is the one to lose his job. So, I think facing any team who've just got rid of a manager is always very difficult, because you're never quite sure what the reaction is going to be. And as well as that, with the caretaker manager coming in, you've not really got an idea of what the system looks like. We can analyse Inverness in the previous 4 or 5 games and see that they've got a set structure, but that will all obviously change now with the new guy coming in. So we've spent a lot of time focusing on ourselves this week and trying to make ourselves better, trying to do more in possession and trying to be a little bit more creative in the final third. So that's all we can do this week. When we get the team lines in for Inverness, then we'll have a better idea of what their system and what their shape looks like.
How difficult is it for managers in the Championship? See what's happened with Billy Dodds, and obviously, has been at Inverness for a bit of time now and really dedicated to it. But at this point in the season, when you're just still trying to really get things going, and we saw with results at United, maybe initially, it's difficult to get that start to the season. Is it difficult, particularly in this league, when there's not much between the teams?
I think most leagues all over the world are very similar. I think managers are judged on results, and you have to win games of football and get points on the board. And I think there's managers already in the Premier League who have lost their job. I think there's still a few throughout the country who are all under pressure, and we've all got our own different levels of expectation to cope with. And we're all well aware of the job in hand. We have to get results, and that's how you're going to be judged ultimately. Getting time in the modern game is a difficult thing, but we've had a good start. I'm delighted with the fact that we're still unbeaten, and that's something that we're focusing on, and that's a big incentive for the players again on Saturday to try and remain unbeaten come 5 o'clock on Saturday evening. So we have to win games of football. Ultimately, that's what it's all about. That's what the fans expect. That's what the board of directors expect, and that's the pressure that we put on ourselves. And as I said, I'm gutted for Billy, but he's well aware of what the game entails.
And just on Mark Birighitti, his potential move to Israel fell through. Is he now settled at the fact that he'll be here for the time being?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Israel League was the last transfer window that was open. We plan on Birra being around till January, until the next transfer window opens.
And how's your team news going into the game against Inverness?
We're in good shape. We've had a very strong squad working this week. Ross Docherty is back in the fold as well. He's trained, albeit I think the weekend will probably come too soon for him. But Craig Sibbald was back in the matchday squad last weekend and came on. So great to have him back. We've got some really good options now throughout the middle of the park. You spoke about Cudjoe early on being suspended, so somebody's going to get an opportunity in place of him. We've got some really good competition for places at the moment, which is a great place to be.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just a quick one from myself. Obviously, you kind of touched on there being unbeaten at the moment, 8 games kind of in all competitions at the moment, and just how important is a consistent run like that, especially when you look at the league with just 5 points separating first all the way down to 6th, and how tight it has been over the past couple of years to have a consistent run like that can kind of lead you into the season.
Yeah, I mean, look, we've shown in the last 8 games that we are a very tough team to play against, and we're not going to give up too many opportunities to opposition. I mean, even if you look at the Morton goal from last Saturday, it was very much a calamity of errors, unfortunately, from our point of view. Something that's not been the case in those 8 games that you speak about. But we gifted Morton a goal on Saturday. We should have came away with all 3 points and a clean sheet. We pride ourselves on defensively being organised and having a good structure to the team, and it's not just about the back four and goalkeeper. The shape of the team out of possession starts from the front, and we've been very, very good at that up to now. That's, I think, the grounding of all good teams is how they look without the ball defensively. It gives you a good platform to build on and a good foundation. We always believe we'll score goals because of the quality that we've got at the top end of the pitch. Louis Moult leading the line for us, another goal for Louis last Saturday. We think we've got some good creativity in the final third. Very, very proud of the fact that we've only conceded a couple of goals up to now, but it's something that we need to continue to work on through the week.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're heading up to Inverness on Saturday, not only with the uncertainty of how they're going to play when you get there, but also perhaps with the players that are up there feeling bad about the situation that Billy does probably within their game as well. Does that make it much more difficult for you this weekend?
Inverness is always a very tough place to go anyway. When I think back to my time as a player playing for St Mirren or in any other jobs that I've had as a manager, it's always been a difficult venue. So we know what to expect from that front. With regards to the players, as in within any squad, the players who were in the starting 11 under Billy will be sad to see him go. Those guys who maybe weren't getting an opportunity might be, relieved that they might get another, different new face, new voice, and an opportunity under the new manager. So it works both ways within teams. But we just have to really focus on what we can do to Inverness. Albeit the new manager might have a new formation or a new way of playing. It's going to be pretty much the same group of players that he's going to have to work with, and we've got to really impose ourselves on Inverness. Even though we're the away team, we've got to go and take the game to them, and we've got to go and be on the front foot. And I think we've got to be a little bit more ruthless in front of goal than what we've shown in the last couple of league games. And if we do that, then hopefully all points will come back down the road with us.
And the training this week, how has it been going with the disappointment of losing that goal last week and not winning?
Yeah, look, we obviously analysed the game on Monday with the group, and there's no shouting or bawling. At the end of the day, the guys who were involved in that mix-up are all experienced players, and they're the first ones to hold their hands up in the dressing room after the game. They realised that there was a mistake made, and as I said, it's not been like us in the season up to now. Defensively, we've got the best record in the league, and as I said, that's something that we're very proud of and something that we want to carry on. Unfortunately, throughout the course of a campaign, own goals can happen, lapses in concentration and mix-ups can happen. The important thing for us as a group is that we make sure they don't happen very often. And, lessons have been learned from that situation. We should have come out of that particular game having not played particularly well, won the game 1-0 with a clean sheet and 3 points in the bag. We'll learn from it and make sure it doesn't happen again going forward.
As you go through the season with injuries and suspensions, etc., there are opportunities for other players to come in. With the larger squad, though, it's not always just a case of possession of the jersey is going to keep it. It's going to be who's best for the job, yeah?
Definitely, yeah. It's got to be that way. The team is always picked on performances. Sometimes you might make a tactical change based on opposition. But we always aim to try and play our strongest 11. If everybody is fit and available, then that's what we'll do. But you need competition for places. The guys who are in the team holding on to the jersey at the moment need to feel the pressure of the players coming behind them. It's as simple as that. And they're a great group of lads to work with. They train incredibly hard during the week. There are a number of players who would like more game time, and they're continuously pushing themselves to try and stake a claim. I do always try and make as many substitutes as possible throughout the course of a game. I like the 5-sub rule, and I think when you've got such a strong and competitive squad like I have, I think it's really important to utilise that and to reward players who have been working hard with some game time at the end of the week. Albeit, we have to make sure we get the result first and foremost.